Hello and welcome to Insomniac Productions, otherwise known as BTS Productions, with how many BTS videos I've done. And today I'm reviewing Suga's, or August D's, otherwise known as, the BTS member, the rapper, the legend himself, the producer. I'm reviewing his song, The Last, from his mixtape, or so I've been told. I haven't looked too much into it other than the song itself. Without wasting much time, let's jump into it. Now, firstly, the production on the song is nothing super special, and I don't mean that to be insulting. It's just a hard-hitting rap instrumental. It's one that people have used before. It has all the elements of a sort of kind of generic rap beat with the hard-hitting, just bass instrumental, the sort of synth, the sort of sort of sounds. So there's nothing super unique there, but that's not really the hard-hitting part of the song. So the production really doesn't matter as long as his execution and lyrics are good, and well, we'll get to that, but I think he does a pretty good job. That's all I have to say for the production, really. You have a couple of things that have been there since the dawn of rap instrumentals, and you have a little bit of a different intro as far as it goes, with his sort of telling you that it's going to be an emotional song without directly telling you that it's going to be. There's nothing crazy here. There's nothing new and groundbreaking. But I suppose that's not what he set out to achieve anyway, therefore this doesn't matter as much in the context of this song. Next is the lyrics, and I think that this is really the biggest hard-hitting part of the song. If you're going to take anything away from the song, it's the lyrics, not the execution, not the production. This is really what matters. Now, looking into it, it's a lot of very personal, deep and dark things from Suga's past that he's talking about here. They're very personal problems, things that normal people would probably struggle to talk about, but he does it seamlessly and in a very emotional and gritty way. As an example, let's look at a couple of his lyrics, and I'll put them right here. Basically, what he says is there's a point in the song early on where he says, "At times I'm scared of myself too. Self-hated, and thanks to the depression that takes over me, Min Yoongi is dead already. I'm dead. Comparing my dead passion with others, it's now a part of my daily life. On the first visit to the psychiatric ward, my parents came with me. We listened to the consultation together. My parents said they don't truly understand me. I don't understand myself well either. Then who would understand? Friends, you, nobody knows me well." Now, these lyrics are very real to him, and to us it might catch us by surprise unless you're a diehard BTS fan. It's something really real. I mean, to talk about how you don't know yourself, your parents say they don't even know you, and you're just going through this depressive, socio-anxiety driven state, it's hard to deal with. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is this song doesn't do the most production-wise, but lyrically, it's a very real and personal song, and that's probably why it is such a good song from Suga. Now, granted, it's not perfect. It's not all stars and sunshine. The song does have criticisms that I can give to it. Lyrically, it's not perfect, but then again, it's a personal song. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this some complex, meaning thing. He's speaking from the heart. So any criticisms I have there can be thrown out the window. And same with production. The production is not great, but at the same time, it wasn't built to be this great production-wise song. It's built to be an emotional song where he's venting to his audience or to whoever's listening, really. And so the production doesn't have to be this stellar, groundbreaking thing. And I feel like some people confuse that when they're criticizing the song. But the lyrics, to focus on that, because this is the section I'm talking about, the lyrics, they're great to me. Not in the sense that they're complex, not in the sense that they even serve their purpose, which they do, but because it is so real and personal. And I've said that already, but to have a song as a big sort of idol, to be that personal and real is hard to do, because a lot of people often forget that people who are idols are just like me and you. They're just like us. They have the same problems that we have, and we often forget that they go through things too, sometimes worse things than we could ever imagine. And the fact that Suga's displaying that and not being afraid to display that, or maybe he is, says a lot. Now, near the end of the song, it ends up being a little bit more of a good note, right? So he talks about basically how it's changed in a sense, in a small sense. Now, at least for me, what I gather, he's talking about how he went from being that depressed anxiety, maybe ridden, just sort of self-loving person to being something a lot better. Now he has more pride. Now he feels at least a bit better about his work. He's more confident in himself. And yes, while some of those things still there, like depression probably is underlying and some other things, he is fighting through that, and he is a better person now through all of that, which is a good way to end it despite the whole song being pretty emotional and damn, this is dark and sad. But he does a good way of tying it off at the end without still fully saying it's a happy ending, because it hasn't been one yet. It's better, but it's not super happy, you know? So I think he did a good job there. I think it's a good way of not going from it's dark, now it's happy. It's dark, and it's getting better, and it is a lot better, but I still have a lot to go through. So really impressed with the lyrics. I think that's the highlight of the song. I think that if you're really going to listen to the song, with the lyrics is the way to go. You don't want to do this by just listening to it. You need to listen to the lyrics as well, in my opinion. And finally, we're going to go to the execution. Now, execution is something that I'm always pretty strong on, and that's because if the execution is poor, it turns me away from a song. It makes me not like it. If somebody has amazing lyrics and amazing production, but their execution's bad, then why am I even listening to the song if it doesn't even sound good? But I will say that this is done well by Suga. Its execution is emotional and real. It's coming from him. It sounds like he's just has a lot of pent-up emotion, and he probably did when he recorded the song, and he has all these issues that he's just thrown out there into the open, and you can tell that it comes from the heart from him, and that's what I love about this execution. Now, is it perfect? No. I mean, again, as with any song, the execution could always be worked on. He could maybe have pronounced a couple of things better as far as, like, you know, executing it on the end, or maybe the ends or the starting of his sentences aren't always the best sounding. Maybe there's some parts where I'm like, oh, it sounds okay, I guess. But overall, for the most part, it actually sounds really good because it's real. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's coming from him and his personal experience. So again, any criticism's got to sort of throw it out the window. Songs like these are interesting because normally you would have criticisms, and for me, the execution's not perfect, or maybe the lyrics could use a bit of adjustment or tweaking, or maybe the production wasn't perfect, but that's not the point of the song. The song's not supposed to be this perfect gold-wrapped thing. It's meant to be a real, personal song, and so the criticisms that I do have, well, they're there. The execution, the lyrics, maybe slight tweaking, and production being more towards the generic rap style, that they kind of go out the window when you realize the context of the song. So that's one of the good things about having a song like this, is that, you know, and a lot of his other songs, they're much better, but that's only in terms of technical quality, not in terms of necessarily where it comes from. So if I really had to rate this song, I would give it a rating of passable. Now, I know, I said that maybe I should throw out some of the criticisms, maybe it wouldn't be right, but while I do think the song is coming from the heart, it's very real, and it's very personal, there are criticisms of its production being too sort of generic in my taste, personally. The lyrics not being perfect, and you know, the execution needing a little bit of work. Those criticisms are still there, and so while I do think that personally I enjoyed the song, personally I see where it's coming from, and I do highly rate it, I still have to, for the average listener, give it a rating of passable. If it's certified sleepy, or certified sleepless, rather, then obviously the song has everything working on all fronts, and the song doesn't have everything working. The lyrics and execution are pretty damn well, but the beat and instrumental is rather not that amazing or groundbreaking to me, and that's why I give it a lower rating. Now, that's not insulting to Suga, because I've seen some of his other work. I've seen him in BTS, and he is an amazing producer as well as writer and just rapper. And so this song is a very personal song that's not meant to be something put on a higher pedestal and reviewed and revered by everyone. It's just a personal song from him, and I think that if you're a fan of BTS, if you're a fan of Suga, you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to like it. If you're not a fan of BTS or Suga, you might not like it as much, and that's why I give it that rating. Thank you, though, so much for watching. This is my first review with this camera. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you had fun listening to me talk about this. Thank you so much for watching this review. Hopefully you enjoyed. This is, you know, a long review for a song, but that does it for me. Hopefully again, you enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below if you agreed, disagreed, what you think I could do better. I always want to know, and I support everybody who wants to support me. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
잘 나가는 아이돌 래퍼 그 이면에 나 약한 자신이 서있어 조금 위험해 우울증 강박대대로 다시금 도주 Hell no 어쩌면 그게 내 모습일지도 몰라 damn 현실의 괴리감 이상하게 갈등